Hello ladies and gentlemen, Lord Wraith here, and welcome to another large ship review. Now, today's review, I feel very, very lucky that we've got I'm reviewing somebody's work, or gentleman's work, who, his work on the workshop has been absolutely stunning and amazing. And I'll be honest with you, his work to me is setting the standard for the sort of work that we should be seeing on the workshop by experienced gamers now who are playing Space Engineers. So enough of the faffing around. Let's have a look at it and see what we've got. Well, you probably recognise this now. I do know it's been on the workshop. It's on the front page. But there you go. Now what we're looking at is the Ibex Land Crawler Vanilla. This comes to us courtesy of Bruce LeedleLeedlelee. Now we all know Bruce LeedleLeedlelee's work because we've seen the tank track, or the sort of like old-fashioned World War One tank that was shown in the live streams just recently on Keen by XChow and by Marek. And obviously it's as Peter said, it's something that they may use in the multiplayer to test rotors and pistons. So yeah, a wonderful wonderful addition. What a nice thing to do, to have your work set as a standard. Oh, fantastic. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got. Now you probably noticed I've got blocks. It's just literally to stop it from rolling away. Don't forget, we're dealing with wheels here. This is Space Engineers. Right, so what do we have? Well, the first thing you'll probably notice, and the first thing I notice, and what is now making some very large traction, pardon the pun, on the workshop, is the wheel formation. Now, obviously for a long time we've all been trying to produce some form of track formation, track wheels, and now what we've discovered is, hey, we can actually almost produce track-like wheels, or the image of tracks, just by doing this. Now obviously you all know, as well as if you've been playing Space Engineers for a while like I have, you'll know that when you first set up wheels you couldn't do this. Space Engineers, the collision boxes and that sort of stuff would not let you do it. But since they've been allowing you to replace the wheels and stuff like that, it seems that the collision boxes now, when you start to design stuff, will actually let you do this. And I've tested it and it works. Absolutely works. But it looks great. Absolutely fantastic. The way he's got it set up on all of this, wonderful. Now what else do we have? Let's do a quick shufty on the outside, and then we'll take it inside and have a look inside. So as you can see, some lovely, as normal, Bruce LeedleLeedlelee does a lot of ground down work. He uses a lot of different blocks and stuff like that, and it's just the way he puts things together, which absolutely fantastic. Now we've got the ramp here at the front, which I'll show you a bit more later on. We've got a balcony here, which has got what I can only assume is a tracking turret, with a camera and a spotlight on it. Now he's got another turret there, which is the internal turret, so obviously that must somehow be linked to the two together. But let's find out, and let's have a look later on. So moving on, what we've got down here, again, a beautiful way. He's got the ground down blocks, just the way that he's used them in this manner, absolutely fantastic. You can see he's also using the refinery there as part and parcel of the build. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Look at this. We've got Gatling turrets here, obviously a missile turret up at the top there to help with more protection. And again, let's move further. We've got towards the back here another balcony above another set of the wheels here, and then he's used the curved blocks here in an absolutely stunning way. Look at this. This is fantastic. It makes it look almost like some sort of tank. Now, I love this. I love the idea. I like seeing the curved blocks being used in the game, on builds, because I think it's one of the most underrated blocks that we do have in the game. But when you see this, fantastic. Absolutely wonderful the way it's been done. So again, moving around, we've got more or less a mirror image on the other side of the design to the one we just looked at. So let's pop into the character. Let's take a shufty on the inside of this. Now, I do know that Bruce LeedleLeedlelee did his own video on this, but again, it's one of those things. Let's just yeah, whoop, there we go. What a wonderful thing. Way up. Look at that, all the way down, and up we go. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. And then you've got the controls here. I should imagine. Let's bring the HUD up for a second and see what we've got here. we've got rotor reverse, and we've got corner lights off. So let's hit the rotor reverse, and as you can see, it's bringing up the ramp now. And doesn't this takes me back to the sort of things that we used to do when Space Engineers first started off, and I'll be honest with you, I love this sort of stuff. It really does have a lovely feeling to it, a sort of like combination of the old-fashioned way of doing stuff from when Space Engineers first started to the modern day way with all the blocks we've got now. So obviously this second button, as you can see, just turns the lights on and off. Yeah, wonderful. Right, let's move into the inside. So we've got a normal little hangar deck, a normal lock system here with the double doors. So let's just close them back up, and we come into this first section. Now, if we come round here, now I'm remembering sort of like what he did from this video. If we come round here, we've got our a couple of cryo tubes here, which we can jump into whenever we need to. As we come around here, we've got the cockpit, we've got a science station there. Now the one thing he didn't show, and I'm just curious as to what these buttons are. Now we've got Ibex toggle on, toggle off, so I should imagine that's shut down. Requesting backup. Obviously he's got like the pirates have, you know, requesting backup warning. Main turrets on and off. Anti-interior turrets on that one. Wonderful, wonderful. So he's got quite a few set up. It's nice to see him set up, honestly, like in a bar like that. But I think that's lovely, especially that help sign requesting backup. I love that. Right. So as you can see, the way he's used some of the interior blocks like this, which are the corridor blocks, are nice. We've got what here? We've got location, date, time. Excellent on that one. So let's move towards the back. Now this, I think, should lead to the first balcony. Yep, it does. And we could take a look at here. Look at this lovely ground. The way he has it set up with the ground down blocks, absolutely fantastic. So we go along here. We can sort of like look in like that, and he's got hangar doors here to provide protection. And along here, along here, and along here, and up we go. And we're at the back. So fantastic, look at this, absolutely wonderful. Now obviously he's linked all of this all the way around. Yeah, so let's zoom back to the front again, and we can have a shufty at what he's got with us. Oh, it's just one side, okay. Right, so there's only one airlock. Oh, excellent, let's jump over the top. Lovely. Let's jump over the top and we'll go back into the inside here. So there is only one airlock. It's not completely mirrored on the other side, which is nice. Gives it a nice unique feeling. So we go back round here. There's timer blocks. Like I said, the way he's just stuck things like timer blocks in different, actually used them as sort of like the decorative section. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love this sort of stuff. There's our programming block in there. So now we've got to the interiors. We've got the batteries here. We've got a couple of batteries here. Let's go and have a look inside. And this is the obviously the cruise quarters sort of thing. Now a lot of people, and I'll be honest with you, I've only just started learning how to do this. See, I've got up for 5,000 hours in the game. You know, I've never really done this, but I love this. This is starting to really take off, and I can purely understand why. Absolutely, what a wonderful way to produce sort of like decorative parts without having to use mods. Absolutely fantastic. I love this sort of stuff. So you can see the rotor down there. If we just crouch down, you can see the large grid rotor down there. Well, is that a small grid rotor? Yeah, and there's a large grid rotor. Obviously it's been linked up, so we've got the large grid rotor there. Then he's come up, used a small grid rotor to produce this sort of like flooring effect, and then obviously come up to produce this for the rest of it. Absolutely fantastic. Now obviously the chairs seem to be connected through on the small grid. Great, wonderful, fantastic. I love that. Right, let's move on to the rear of the ship. So what have we got here? This is just what's this? Shuts passage. Oh right, okay, that's a button for the hangar doors on acting as blast shields. Lovely. Lovely. We'll just open them back up again. So if we move through to the back, as you can see, we've got our medical bay. Very, very important whenever you're doing anything on like this. So can you imagine, you can actually produce this in survival. You could actually make this in survival. You could have this as sort of like your land carrier. There's our oxygen tanks up there. Yeah, I mean, I love the way he's used the blocks in all of this. You've got sort of like blocks up there, but he's ground them down to give a lovely image all the way through. Fantastic. So let's go, whoops, let's go through here. All oxygenated as well by the looks of it. Then we can come through here, and at the back here we've got this little sort of miner. Now again, Iron Empire. Again, he's produced. Now it's got guns on it as well as grinders. Now is this? Yep, you can actually jump in this. There you go. So you can actually jump in this little thing and you can use this. Let's just have a shufty around. And as you can see, sort of like the standard thing on anything, he's got the LCDs either side with the scripts running, both M Master and Whip's Artificial Horizon. Wonderful, fantastic. And then we've got, if I just come round, let's have a look and see what the button is. Is that the button for it? Yeah, that's the button for the hangar doors. There you go. That allows us now, if we just knock off the hood, that allows us then to literally be able to fly this in and out, and away we go. Fantastic and lovely little design, little hangar. Just come along, plonk yourself down, land your ship, unload your cargo or the ores that you've been mining, and away you go. It's a lovely little fit, this. Now if you look below here, we've got, if you look, we've got dual connectors. Now obviously that allows you then to have different designs, different ways of connecting up ships, or you can have obviously different designs with the different types of connectors, whether they're close to the front or close to the rear of the design. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So let's close up the hangars, and then we could take this thing for a little ride, I'm quite sure. Right, so there we go. We've done the inside. Let's hop into the driver's seat. Let's shut all this up. There we go. So we can do that. So you can take it. Yeah, you can come onto this. You can bring your mates. They can sit down while you're just flying, while you're just driving around. Wonderful. Right. So back up to the top, back round, and we can. Oh, well, first of all, let's get rid of the blocks that are on the outside. Otherwise, we're going to have problems. So let's bring up the hood, and let's diverse ourselves of the blocks there that are holding it back. Like I said, I've had to put those blocks in simply because, again, as you can see, this is Space Engineers we're talking about. Even though the handbrake's on, yeah, even though the handbrake's on, it still rolls forward, unfortunately. Right, handbrake off. There we go. Unfortunately, for some reason, the connector's been disabled, but never mind. Right. As you can see, it's got the way he's got it set up. All the wheels are turning in the right way. It's got a pretty good handling ability, to be honest with you. I was quite surprised when I first started learning to drive this thing around, just how well. I mean, we're already up to sort of like 70, and it's got a wonderful handling ability. You know, again, another great design by Bruce LeedleLeedlelee. It doesn't surprise me why it is this guy's becoming one of the best designers, using the vanillas blocks alone in Space Engineers that we've got. Now, I would say, I mean, you've probably all done it anyway, but I would recommend, I'll leave a link in the description, not just to this one, but also to his workshop page. Please, if you haven't gone and seen his work, I would highly recommend going and seeing his stuff, because believe you me, it's well worth the visit. It really, really is, just to see this. And if nothing else, his little World War I tank as well, which was shown in the stream. So that's it today. That's me done on this one. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me just pull this, let me just stop that. Parking brake on. Let's get out to the cockpit. Yeah, let's just run around. We can go out this way, I think. There we go. So yeah, that's me done. on this one. I'd like to thank Bruce LeedleLeedlelee for producing this for us. Thank you very much, good sir. Where are we now? Let's. There we go. We're over there. We're over there. There we go. Right. Turn around, butter. The other way. Right. Like I said, I'd like to thank everybody whose stuff I've shown this week. Tomorrow is going to be the live stream day. I will be doing another little review. But for today, thank you very much to, like I said, to Bruce LeedleLeedlelee for all his designs, and I shall catch you again on the next big review for large ships. Thank you very much. Bye.